All right, so like I said, we have Alex playing Ira, Bun playing Kano. His signature hero here looks like they have not determined who is going first or going second. Oh, you need to promote people, or they can't copy stuff. So please promote them. All right, Bun with a 9. Oh, don't grab his crucible, or maybe not crucible. I don't know.
So Josh, here I'm guessing that Bun always wants to go second in this situation, right? Just to not have to fight for the tempo and play at a speed more his pace, right?
That is correct. In general, Kano will be wanting to go second. I also believe that unless he's fighting against Brute. All right, so the first thing of note, we see we see AB4 from Ira with a Zephyr Needle.
AB4, okay.
And we see Bun rocking a skull cap instead of the talisman. So that's a little bit different there. All right, here we go.
I guess you don't need the opt to if you know where every single card is in your deck, like Bun usually does.
Yeah, that's there you go.
That's it.
Looks like Bun, because he won the dice roll, has elected to let Alex go first. Pitches a flick flack. Comes in with Kadachi.
What do you think about the AB4, Josh? Do you think I personally have never seen that before? What do you think?
Most IRAs prefer AB3 plus Snapdragons. That, from what I remember, but AB4 does allow you to play a more patient style. AB4 also demands that the wizard knows how to deal with AB4. However, we're talking about Bun here, who is quite possibly the greatest wizard player in the world. So no doubt, AB3, AB4, AB5, he can handle it all.
Right.
So yeah, and actually Terry is a wizard player himself, so he should have quite a bit of insight on all of this.
Yep. And
what do you think about AB3, AB4?
And I think there's a synergy for the 4AB and with the needles. And Alex maybe want to have a longer game and use a much more blue deck to defense all the arcing and using the needles to get the value from the extra damage for the second attack.
Yep. It allows you to hold. It allows you to do more damage while holding, while using less cards, basically. So that does synergize well, as you said. We see a new card there from Bun.
It.
The Aether Wildfire there. Looks like he's a triple blocking the Exude. And this will... that was actually 4 reds in Bun's hand, actually. A little bit unlucky there. Red Snapback, quite a premium card as well. Is it common for wizards to be running defense reactions nowadays, Terry?
I think probably most one defense reactions.
Okay, so there's some risk attacking with the Zephyr Needle.
Yes, if Bun can draw the defense reaction in the early stage and break the needles, then will be a big advantage.
Yep. Turns out having only one weapon is it's not good. All right, so it looks like we're having a Scalding Rain into a Crucible and probably some amount of damage here. So we have 4 damage here coming across. So
it should be respect on the FF Flare because maybe it's followed with a Snapback.
Yep, could be a Snapback. coming after this. Although he did see that the red one was used, so he would kind of have to just draw the natural hand there. I think right now Bun is just trying to get some cards out of hand. So against AB4, a lot of the on-hit effects like Sonic Boom, Aether Flare are going to have trouble connecting. So as a wizard, Terry, how do you play around AB4?
It's so hard, actually.
Yeah.
And now maybe has for AB5. But not in this match.
Maybe KO can run AB5 or I don't know. Maybe some decks. Yeah, Oldhim could run AB5. That might actually become a nearly impossible. And he does have the snapback, so good for him to respect that. But 2 more damage going to come across here.
Yeah, due to the new cards, the White Flare, maybe running 2 more snapback for extra damage.
Sure, that sounds very reasonable. The Aether Wildfire really can create some nutty situations because it buffs all of the arcane damage for the turn, not just the next one. So Bun managed to get 2 cards out of Alex's hand and get in 2 damage there. So not bad. Looks like a Soul Bead Strike from Arsenal.
That's an interesting way to start it out.
I guess he's... Okay. Well, this is probably going to get a card. However, generally with AB4, you want to just put on a little bit of pressure and then say, okay, pass priority to end step, and then see what they do. However, this is in terms of card efficiency, this is really, really bad, right? But that, I guess Alex is basically saying here that he's very willing to play patiently. And so now Bun is already has to absorb this information that, all right, my opponent is playing AB4 with Needle, and he's showing me that he's willing to be very patient. So now Bun is probably calculating, all right, if I have to fight this and a patient opponent, how do I kill him? And so he's probably thinking through right now his long-term game plan, not just whether or not he's going to block this. He's thinking about. He's basically adjusting his grand strategy here, probably in his mind.
What do you think about a Razor right here? Would playing the Razor out and pitching the 1 card in hand give too much information to Bun, and then also not allowing an arsenal?
I think if you had Razor here, you would have Kodachi,
right,
Zephyr Needle, and then because if you have Razor here,
face down, right, yeah.
If you have Razor, you're using the Razor to protect the Needle.
Right.
You're not playing Razor here to give Soul Bead Strike go again. So I'm pretty sure he's just going to end his turn here. And he's going to say pass priority, and Bun says sure. So he arsenals a card, and it is on Bun now with 3 cards. So if he has oh, okay, that's a good card. I have a Fidium. Yep. So in terms of damage, we're really looking to Voltic Bolt here as the main and Aether Spindle are those the 2 cards, Terry, that can really push damage here?
And because of the meta change, there's much more Oldhim in the Blitz matchup, and Hong Kong Kano player may also play the yellow Voltic Bolt.
Okay,
and the red Scarlet Rain and the red Spindle for more leaking damage of exit with the Crucible for 5.
So you think that Bun's deck right now is already designed to fight AB4?
Yeah, because too much Oldhim here.
Okay. So Bun probably has the tools necessary, and he's going to banish a snapback. Okay.
Just a blue.
Yep, blue snapback there. Gonna pitch, and he's gonna Crucible into red Voltic Bolt, so this is guaranteed to get damage in.
And then the snapback to follow. Seems strong.
Yep, that's quite a bit of damage. That's 7 damage in total there.
The snapback maybe cannot play out. No resource right now.
Oh yeah, you're right. He has no more resources. Good call there. That's why it's always good to have a wizard player when observing these games. Looks like he's gonna block 3 and take 3, go down to 15. So even though he had AB4, he did not want to burn a second card there. And just passes it back. And we're already in a little bit of danger here as Ira at 15.
Right.
You have not put much pressure on Kano, and he's already chipped away at your life here a bit.
Lethal range for Stir Fort combo is with AB4 is 10 life, right? Yeah. Okay.
So,
but as a Kano player, we always will count 2 Sidro in our deck, especially in the Arsenal card.
Yep. So we're likely to see Bun try to chip him down even lower than that. I believe Bun won't go for the kill until he absolutely has to, basically, when he's presented with lethal. Or when he sees an opening. Looks like he's taking the needle damage here.
Yeah.
So in Alex's mind, this has to be setting off a little bit of alarm bells here. Maybe Bun is baiting him into overcommitting here. You never know. Looks like he's going to pass here. So this is a very, very conservative approach as Ira. In general, we're kind of seeing why, at least in Hong Kong, correct me if I'm wrong, Terry, that Iras in Hong Kong have moved to AB3 Snapdragons.
Most of the time.
We're kind of seeing that the reason for that here is because if you put just a little bit of pressure on and they draw the correct spells like a pump or a card with naturally 4 damage, they're going to get damage in. And this is a prime example of that.
This is insane. Stir into Crucible into Aether Flare, right? Or Spindle, sorry. Yep.
So he's going to get to opt 4 here, which is
8. No.
And he still has Tunic, so what he could do is he could opt to snap back to the top, or if he's playing Blazing Aether, he could opt the Blazing Aether to the top if he has a blue in his hand. So again, if he's only blocking 3, we're again seeing the weakness of AB4 here. Is if he's only blocking 3, then he should have just been running 3 plus snaps.
Right. That was my initial thought. Is the AB4 really only comes handy when you have the Lesson on Lavas and the Sonic Booms to stop the trigger effect or the on-hit effect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Looks like he needs help rotating his life counter. Okay, no, it looks like he's good. Okay. So we're going to see a massive opt here for 5 here. This is very dangerous to let him opt 5 because opting 4 and opting 5 is actually a very big difference, right, Terry?
It depends on the deck build and the sequence of the deck. If 3 blue in the deck in the top is really no good. But if the Blazing Aether is on this 5 cards, then you can have the 4 cards and stay the Blazing at the 5th card, and you can opt while the turn. Yeah, big difference.
Mm-hmm. I remember asking Alan Lau, who is perhaps he's in the chat, I don't know, a little bit about this matchup, and he told me that he was going AB3 Snapdragons because he felt like he had to race Kano, Kano had too much inevitability. Even if you try to block everything, you cannot block everything.
Right.
So,
now, longer the game, the advantage will shift to Kano player.
Yep. So you really want, like, as a Dorinthia player, if I can present lethal before their tunic is charged, that is just the greatest feeling in the world, right? Like, once the tunic is charged, that's already considered a medium length game, in my opinion. So it looks like Bun is going to put 2 on the bottom, and he's going to put 3 on the top, and depending on what the last card in his hand is, he may be playing one of those. If he has a blue and he wants to use his tunic, we will find that out. Looks like it's just an Arsenal pass. And so Alex still has 2 sigils in his deck. So he's got that going for him. He just saw one of the Stir the Aether Winds get used as well.
And maybe the game will end in 3 turns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this game looks like it's probably going to come to a conclusion in the next couple turns. We have a Zephyr Needle block here, a Sigil to gain 3 on the stack. Bun says sure, and I guess he's going to go to end step here.
Oh, how much blue in Alex stack? It's so defensive.
I believe he's running 16 blues. But again, I don't think the route to victory against an experienced Kano is 16 blue AB4.
Right.
I mean, you might be able to cause a weaker wizard player to panic, but I'm sure Bun has had a ton of experience against this. And looks like this is coming in for 8 here. And he's popping Metacarpus notes here. So this is another 4 damage leaking in. What do you think about using the Metacarpus notes here?
I think because the Fog Lightning and the Stir is not coming in the same turn, and the clock is ticking, maybe it's the time to use get it. Use it for and the Stir and the Fog is a little bit tricky if still in the hand and not making the value.
So if we look at the macro state of this game, like, it's gonna take Alex 9 turns to get to kill Kano here. That's a little bit too much time here, I believe. We see a little bit of an oddity here. We have Red Snatch Shavira. This is not a card you normally see. But I guess it pairs very well with Snapdragons and such.
Yeah, is that a Razor Reflex?
Could be.
It would be good here, that's for sure.
But that would, if he Razor Reflexes here, I think Bun will react, pop Storm Striders, and try to get him down to like 1 or 2.
Well, he would still have 2. He would still have 2 floats. I mean, he'd have a little bit of defense if he had the blue in hand.
True. Looks like Gaze and gonna take
Skull
1.
Cap? No. Okay.
Nope.
No gift to draw. Clearly no Razor.
So the only way Bun gets punished is if that was a sigil, which the sigil's in Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. And looks like, so now Bun knows that both sigils have been used, and nobody really runs yellow sigil, so Bun knows that he just has to get through 12 life and then he wins.
So basically the game plan right now for Bun is to deal 2 damage, and there's 1 Stir and 1 Fort left in the deck, and he's just waiting on that, right?
That sounds like the plan. Yep.
Right.
Okay, looks like Bud is going to blind Kano here. Go fishing for a card. There's 4 or 5 cards that would be nice to hit.
The best case
And
scenario
there's
here would probably be a
emptiness.
Voltic, probably.
Maybe there's a nursing emptiness in Bun's hand, so it needs to have the extra action point to use the opting the card, for instance.
Yeah,
okay.
That definitely could be it, because very rarely do you want to blind Kano if you can prevent it. So looks like could be a Voltic Bolt with no Crucible, indicating
that
that,
be a snapback.
or it could be 2 energy for nourishing, because he still has an action point, or a Voltic Bolt as his action point. So he didn't use his Crucible on this turn, which is interesting. I guess he has a very important card that he wants to arsenal here.
I mean, that just has to be either a star or a fort, right? There's just no situation where it's not one of those.
Almost certainly, yes.
Right.
So 5 damage coming across here. Now, here's the problem. If he throws 2 cards at this, he basically doesn't have a turn next turn, and he still leaks the damage.
Right, exactly. But if he takes 2 damage by only pitching a blue, now he's at 10, and Stir Fort is lethal under all conditions. So
yep.
That's tough spot.
And Bun effectively here has the same life total because of Skullcap and Tunic.
Right.
So this is a very tricky spot here. I don't know how he's going to get out of this.
I mean, basically, you just have to come down to push as much damage as possible in the next turn and say, better have it, right? I mean, that's the only way I see that the Ira player has a...
Okay, he pitched 1 and took 4. Okay. Huh.
Really not a good spot.
Yep, that's really, really not a good spot. The only thing that's going for him right now is that the skull cap is off here.
Right. So Bead Strike.
So I guess he's holding a blue in hand, and so he didn't need the Pounding Gale. So
maybe it's possible.
At 8 life here, oh, looks like you disconnected, Terry. Are you okay?
Yeah, disconnected.
Okay. You're just going to watch through the stream? So there's a decision point here for Kano. I mean, if he blocks it, is it that scary? If he doesn't block it, is it that scary? Based on how Alex has been playing the whole game, there's very unlikely to be anything to follow up this.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, maybe not blocking. If the hand is a blue, then maybe having much damage, then still use the skull cap for the needles and using the 5 hands to do the instant to end it with 8. It's the range.
Mm-hmm. We saw that Bun was hovering over his armor there. I don't know if he blocked with it. Looks like he was just considering there because he's still looking at his hand here.
Yeah, my initial reaction is, these to slow the game down, because Bun knows exactly how to win and probably has at least one of the 2 cards he needs. And so I think, 1 card and Skullcap or Tunic, whichever one, depending on whether he needed it or not, and then push a little bit of damage on his turn to get some cards out of Alex's hand to kind of slow the game down to get that other missing piece, I think, is because just taking the 4 here, I mean, you're basically saying, okay, Bun's got to have it, right? Because that 4 damage, you know, your Kodachis and your Zephyr Needle get pretty serious quick.
Yep, and then we actually haven't seen a Razor, so
right,
that actually that starts to put him into, he has to have it every single time the Kodachi or Zephyr Needle comes across. If I were Bun, I would probably just send 1 card here, try to chip down a little bit. Bun basically by tanking here is saying that he doesn't have it, and now he's because if he had it and he knows that both sigils are gone, it's just a deterministic victory here. There's no instant speed tricks that can be pulled here. I guess he might have like he might have drawn a hand with several red cards, and maybe he's thinking about how best to utilize them. I'm not sure. I think also the playstyle of Alex might be throwing Bun off a little bit, because this is something we haven't talked about, is that the East and West have different playstyles. Like, I can tell you right now, Soulbeat Strike Red, Snatch Red are not cards that you see in Hong Kong. Unless things have changed. Am I right about that, Terry?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, Soulbeat Strike Red, Snatch Red. Yeah, these are cards that are more particular to the American metagame, or more particular to Alex. So that might have caught Bun slightly off guard, saying, okay, here's a lot of on-hit effects that I don't normally have to deal with as a Kano. I think that's a theme that we're going to see throughout the night, is that even though we have classic matchups like this one, Ira versus Kano, both players may not be used to exactly how the other plays the deck. And it looks like he did have a second red there.
Yeah, double stir.
Okay, so he had the combo, but he did not have enough energy. That was the problem. He had 2 reds, stir forked. Yeah, he had snapback, stir forked, and a blue, which is not enough. So he actually does not have a combo piece in Arsenal.
Right.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting. And that's the second red snapback that we saw being used. And we could currently see that there's 2 blue snapbacks as well. One in Exile and one in the Pitch Zone. So this actually narrows down the amount of ways that Bun can kill him. Especially considering that... this is actually becoming much closer now, because this is the second Fork Lightning, and he just sent one of his Stir the Aetherwind to the bottom of the deck. He currently has, let me see, he has 19 cards left in deck. So that means that Stir the Aetherwind will be the 20th card. No doubt Bun will keep track of that, because that is basically his win con now. He's going to get 2 damage in here, and then all he has to do is pair that Stir the Aetherwind with any normal 4, 5, 6 damage attack, and that'll be lethal. So Alex actually is probably noticed that and is aware of that, and now he's thinking about, okay, so I got like 4 or 5 turns to put pressure on. How much do I want to block here? And he still hasn't seen a defensive reaction out of Bun, so maybe Bun isn't running a Sink Below or Fate Foreseen, so he might be able to get more aggressive with the Zephyr Needle. He actually hasn't attacked with the Zephyr Needle in quite a few turns.
Does Aether Wildfire, I know he blocked with 1 the first turn. I'm assuming he's running 2. Does that present an alternative win con? I know you would have, I still think you would have to have Stir with it, would you not? Because you need it to
with
to be
the
pumped,
snapback's
right?
gone, and it doesn't look like he's running Blazing Aether. So because we can see the position of 2 blue snapbacks, we know that there's 2 red snapbacks in the graveyard. We know that there's a yellow snapback in the graveyard. The potency of Aether Wildfire is actually reduced by quite a bit.
Right.
Because it needs to be paired with something that can be played at instant speed. So, How common is it to run Blazing Aether in Hong Kong these days, Terry?
Not much, but at most only 1 copy.
Is that mainly for Oldhim, or is that just more of a play style thing? Like certain wizards prefer it, certain wizards don't really care for it?
I'm personally running 2 against Odin before, but most of the Hong Kong Kano player only just playing 1, and with the deck build, it's more no defense reactions. Will play Blazing ever more.
Okay, so we have an E-Strike here. Okay, I was just about to ask, what mode do you think it is? Looks like it is draw a card.
Yeah, it should be before the draw can be response.
There's that Nourishing Emptiness you were talking about. That was actually another win con, is Nourishing Emptiness.
Yes.
Is there a good chance there's a Razor here because it was draw a card? Because typically draw a card's kind of bad against Kano because he has the opportunity to respond before it resolves. So maybe a Razor here is pretty likely.
That Arsenal card has been there for a while.
It's been there a minute, right? I guess
maybe. I guess not.
I may be not blocking with the Nursing Emptiness. There's a guaranteed 3 damage leak.
Yes, I was thinking about that as well, but looks like Bun disagrees with you and is going to play out Crucible into Aether Wildfire. Guaranteed to be leaking 1 here, and depending, like, he doesn't have energy to play anything from Arsenal, so yeah, I would have also gone in with the Nourishing, unless Bun is thinking that that's a flick flack inside the Arsenal, because it hasn't been played for so long that maybe Bun is thinking on the next level. He's like, all right, that's a defense reaction in Arsenal.
What if What if Bun has his 1 defense reaction in Arsenal? He's
just waiting for the Zephyr Needle.
Waiting for the needle, or the Razor, because like that's a good spot to have it.
Speaking of Razor, there's one of them.
There's one,
and we see Bun's blue hand fly over the Razor, so he's now like, okay, there's one of them. I think there's a lot of depth going on here that we're not privy to. And we see another Soulbeat Strike Red. This is actually a card that you would basically never see in Hong Kong, from what I remember. So right now, it has been 2 turn cycles since Bun put the Stir the Aether Winds on the bottom. So that's going to be coming up in 3 turns. So he might just be blocking out till then, if I had to guess.
Yeah, because he can't take too much damage here, because if he takes any decent amount of damage, whether it be like 3 or 4 damage, then you're basically saying, okay, as a Kano player, I can't play with a full hand for the rest of the game. And that gets really risky depending on how you draw and getting your reds, which I don't think Bun's going to have a problem with, because he's so familiar with the process of stack pitching. And
yeah, we noticed that he wasn't playing Lesson in Lava, it seems. So he's not he is actually not shuffling his deck.
Right.
Meaning he knows what's. If once we get to a point where we've gone through the deck, it's no longer blind Kano. It's
exactly what it is.
Hey, I have a very good memory, and now I know what's on top. And now when the thing on top comes, I'm gonna punish you for it. Looks like Bud is hovering over his life total here.
Uh-oh.
Is he gonna take 4 here?
Go, Tom.
So
maybe Bun can do 7 damage. Then that's it.
It's also about. Okay, there he has a signal there.
Okay, it was.
His Eye of Ophidia has also almost come back around, so we might see the like that's kind of like a power spike there. I mean, what? But does Bun need up 2 on the second cycle of the deck? Probably not. It's just confirming. It's like, yeah, just double checking here.
Best part about the sync below here is it gets him to the stir quicker. It's not even
that is true. Gonna put that on the bottom and get a draw card here. All right, so that's a clean block there, and gonna go to end step here. And with 4 cards in hand, I'm pretty sure he can slide some damage in here.
We also have Tunic counters live, so
yep. So we have
Storm Striders are hot and
lots
ready
of options.
whenever he
Lots
needs
of options here. Yep. So now that Alex has seen the 1 sink below, do you think he's going to be more aggressive with his needle?
I think you have to be at this point of the game, because presenting 1 attack that can be cleanly blocked is not going to bode well.
Mm-hmm. All right, we have a Scalding Rain pumped up a little bit for 3.
3.
And a snapback coming in as well.
Yeah,
for
the
another
final
2.
snapback.
Yep, the final snapback here. Or there's still a blue one that's somewhere in the pitch zone. But this is actually a pretty significant stage of the game, because without snapback, the only way to get 2 spells on a turn is with the Storm Striders.
Or opting the card.
Mm-hmm.
Pitching
like
the
he's gonna-
E-Strike. Interesting.
Yep. That means he's likely to come in with Kodachi Needle here, if I had to guess. Although, I guess he wants to split damage here from Kodachi Needle. This is... Yep. And now we're in a little bit of a danger zone here. At 3 life, there's a lot of things that kill him here. Looks like Bun's going to take the first Kodachi. And he's hovering over his arsenal. Oh, it's a Command and Conquer. Huh. Okay, so now he has no float right now. So now Bun knows he only is dealing with AB3 here. So if he has a kill...
Okay.
Yeah, this is a 7 attack here. Yep. Thank you, Terry. So only has to deal with AB3. If Bun has the kill here, he's going to go for it. But unless he has like a... Because he uses Metacarpus nodes already, so he basically has to have the other Voltic Bolt.
But Voltic Bolt 2 red just used it.
Already used. So his kill condition here is the Stir of the Aether Winds, basically here. Yep, we just saw him check his deck size. So,
that's it.
Okay.
Oh.
Alright, so okay, this could be interesting here. Activating Kano here.
Doing 2 spell.
Oh, is he lagging? Looks like he might be lagging. Nope. It looks like the mouse hand is moving, so it's okay. All right, so he's gonna opt to. Ooh.
That quick decision's a very bad sign for Alex.
That's a very, very bad sign.
He did not have to think about it for 2 seconds. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sonic Boom is going to hit now. Uh-oh. Sonic Boom into any other spell is a kill here.
We got
Storm Striders. Yep, this should be deterministic here.
Flare.
Crucible.
Oh, new card.
Ooh, the new card.
Spicy.
Ooh.
Oh, deal 4. Okay.
I like it. I like it. I like
4
it.
and then follows up with the. And he had the red anyway.
He had the red in hand. GG.
That does it.
Well played from Bun, as always, taking down this match. All right, so Michael, let's go back to the scoreboard screen. And you can update the scoreboard while we bring these two guys in to talk about that game a little bit. So I'm going to move them into our commentary booth. Hello, Bun. Hello, Alex.
Hello.
Good game. Good game.
Good game.
Very.
Yeah.
We really like this. Your finishing move. That's a spicy card. Emeritus Scolding. Very nice card. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the blue card. We can put it to Arsenal.
Yep. It seems like another way to help end the game. So, do you guys have any thoughts on that game?
I'm thinking his Arsenal is a defense version, so I just don't play the
the nourishing emptiness.
Yes.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the commentary. We're like, Terry was like, "Huh? The nourishing would have got 3 damage in," and then I was like, "No, Bun did not make a mistake."
Yeah,
Bun did not miss 3 damage. Bun was looking for the because that card was in Arsenal for a while, but it turned out to be a CNC actually.
yeah,
A really bad card.
Yeah, the card is not so useful there.
Yeah.
Bun,
Go ahead.
Bun, were you a little surprised to see AB4 from Ira?
Yes, I'd be surprised.
That's very.
So I changed my plan. Just play slow to plan the fortnighting and the third turn. Try to play the third at 12 damage.
Yep. Yeah, we saw that so the combo pieces didn't quite come at the same time, but you still got to use them for. You used the Stir the Aether Wind with the Aether Spindle for good damage, and then the Metacarpus Nodes with the Fork Lightning for good damage. But even though they weren't together, they still provided a lot of damage there.
Yeah.
Yep, I got hit hard.
Yeah, that was yep. So
other than my first opening hand, I had the
should be
Exude Confidence.
You played Exude Confidence.
Right. I didn't draw any of my tempo cards, my 5s or 6s or 7s until turn, I think 4. And so I remember looking in my graveyard on turn 4 and I had 2 or 3 cards in the graveyard. It was a blue Soul Bead Strike and Exude Confidence and something else. And I was like, I just wasn't able to push any damage and he was just chipping away at my life. And I need to use my life total as a resource in the beginning of the game to have a chance in the end game because I need to be able to threaten his life total, enforce a win or bust kind of situation. And I just wasn't able to do that. My life just kept ticking down and I wasn't able to line up my cards well enough.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for the game. That was a very entertaining match.
It was.
Glad to see some of the new cards. Alex, you had, if I remember, you were talking about you were playing a pair of bingos, but we never got to see the bingos.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to play bingo.
Yep.
Never got to play it.
We saw 4 or 5 new cards from Bun. We saw the new blue. and Aether Wildfire looks like even though these are more old school decks, they still have a few new tricks in Everfest.